Almost.
No, we're live. It says it right now. Broadcast
Yep.
live, and it
Yep.
is on.
I
Woo!
know, right? Here we go. Very good. I'm very
21%.
excited. Well, I just want to tell you thank you so very much for joining me for Whiskey, Women, and
Yeah.
Wisdom.
And with
Yes, absolutely.
them.
And so, my guest, my sister from another mother, Toni Alexander, so excited that you're here. Okay, show me your bottle of whiskey.
All right. So this is my one of two that are my favorite. Oh, there we go. This way. It's
Uh
called
huh.
Breckenridge.
Nice.
Yeah, I actually got introduced to whiskey for real using Colorado whiskey, Stranahan's and Breckenridge. And it's something about the water just makes it taste so good.
Ooh, nice. You know, everybody don't like whiskey. Let me tell you what's an acquired taste.
You're right. And here's the thing, but if you only know Maker's Mark or that kind of crap, then
Oh
you'll
yeah,
never love whiskey because that's like comparing grain alcohol with a really good vodka. It just doesn't work.
trust me, I know. But I am so excited you're on. You are officially our second guest because we've only been doing this for a couple of weeks. So we're really, really tickled to have you here.
Not
So
again.
let's start this way before we get into the questions. Let's talk about how we know each other and when we met.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So I think I'm going to just do the overreaching umbrella story to say this
Uh-huh.
that there is only one other person our mama called daughter, and that was you.
Oh,
And Mama
yay.
Bonnie, so we were her sister, we were her daughters. And so
Mm-hmm.
St. James has been my sister since 2012.
Yeah, that's
And
like
we,
a long time now.
it feels like forever, but then it feels like, and that's just how life is. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so what happened was we met because of Primerica. We met in the office,
Yep.
and it was like instant, like it's just one of those things when you walk into the room, it's like two magnets, from across the table, like from across the right. I mean, you're like,
Yeah.
I remember they wanted me to introduce myself because no one knew who I was. And I moved here from Hawaii. I live in Dallas, Texas now.
Mm-hmm.
And and it was so funny because you had this huge room. I'm talking to everyone, and I automatically stood in front of you and just talked to you the whole time. It was just so much awesome.
That is
But yeah,
true. That is true. Yeah.
so that's kind of how we met. And here's the truth of it. And I'm not going to speak to you, St. James, because I don't want you to be big head because you can't. But here's the thing that you've ever known this. I'm going to talk to women who are seeing this and watching this. Is that you've ever had someone who just had wisdom, and not just had. It's one thing to have wisdom, another thing to be able to share it and commute it to something that you can use. That's St. James. I
Oh.
mean, I'll be honest with you. Like our mama died. Our mama died in
Um,
October 2018, and
mhm.
St. James, I will tell you right now that your ability to help me, because it's not just about life issues or life coaching for success, business success or professional success, but you just had the perfect things to say and to talk to me because I'm a little stubborn. Runs in the family.
A little stubborn. Mm.
Runs in the family.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
for some
Okay.
reason, and this is what she does, ladies, and if you ever, please, if you ever want to move forward in life, you've got to have a good coach. Like you'll never fully lose weight healthily if you don't have a coach. You'll never get further in life without a real good coach. And I'm telling you right now, here's where St. James, this is how I know it because I'm her sister. I know her very well. We spent a lot of time together. She says this,
She
you
knows where the
don't
bodies are buried.
make a decision right now. I just want you to think about, and I'm telling you guys, she's got a connection with the divine. She has, because of from 2012 to now, she has helped me without even knowing it. Maybe she did. She has that intuitive, strong self about her, which I think is part of wisdom for women, especially. But she's like, I think that you need to think about this. Don't make any decisions right now, but you need to think about it. And she does. And I think about it. And here's the thing, when I've done what she's told me to do, great things happen.
Okay. 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 Let's
Just
get on
saying.
the. Okay. Let's get on the money now. Let's
Well,
get
okay.
on the
There's one thing that you told me to do that I haven't
money.
done. Bad things didn't happen because of it, but I may have missed out on a really good thing. When you told me to strip or dance on the table, that one time you went out, that was the only time I didn't do what you told me to do.
Oh, look
But
at
you didn't give me time to
there.
think about it. So, I just got it, I'm saying. But
Hey now.
yes.
Hey, never miss an opportunity to strip and dance on the
Amen.
table. I'm just
Woo.
saying.
Yeah, the last time I think I did that, they were like, put it back on, put it back on. I'm like, give me 1,000, the clothes go on. The bigger the money, the bigger the clothes.
Stop it. Stop it. Whatever. Okay, so we got ladies on here saying hello. So hello to everyone that is on here. And Christina's on here.
Hey, Christina. Hey, sis. How's it going?
Yeah, that's your Christina.
Oh,
yes.
Oh my gosh,
Absolutely.
she's amazing. She's absolutely amazing.
She is. Absolutely.
She's here.
Okay, so look here. Tell
Mm.
women about your background. Tell them how your story.
Okay, so I work in financial services. I'm a regional vice president, which means nothing. I'm a principal broker, have my own business, blah, blah, blah. But how I got started is I was the girl who was always broke. And I don't know, St. James, you probably don't know how this is like, but I was the girl who was always broke. Like I seriously, like if you took me out to dinner, which I love to go out to dinner, but if you took me out to dinner, we had a really good 50-50 chance that my card was a double swipe card that night, which is when the waitress swipes your card and then she swipes it again and glares at you from across the room and you can feel it. It could be a crowded restaurant, but you feel you made that and you're like, oh crap. And then they give you the 5 declines, like you didn't figure it out the second time. It's not your machine. And always, this is the saddest part. When it would happen, my friends would be like, again? I'm like, I only had salad. But that was the truth. That was me. Because like I always thought this, like I was fed that if you're a good person, you work really hard, you're going to be okay financially.
Sure.
And I was a really hard worker. And I kept trying to get better. And it wasn't working.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It's not. It's like having a recipe for a cake, but they tell you don't turn on the oven.
Sure, and we have millions of women that have been in the same situation because our parents don't teach us financial education. So, with that being said, then we have to learn it basically on our own. I mean, rich people teach their kids, but middle class and regular parents, they typically it's just not something that's taught.
They can't teach what they don't know, St. James.
Bingo.
I mean, that's just the truth is that every parent wants the best for their kids, and they can't teach what they don't know. And that is just the truth. That's the honest to God truth.
Absolutely.
And so reality was I woke up in my mid-20s. I had a really good job. You know, I was working corporate. I worked my way up. I was a hard worker. I was working 84 hours a week, and I was salaried, which I found out was slavery, misspelled. And here's the truth of it. I had over $100,000 in credit card debt.
Ooh, I didn't know it was that much.
It was $106,759.
Hot damn.
And the crazy thing is I had no idea. I had no idea I was in that much debt.
So did you get your first credit card when you first got out of college?
High school.
Oh, wow. Okay. They got you before you got in college.
Actually, interestingly enough, this is a little known fact, but all high schools, when you and I never graduated, so I kind of went under, but most high school school districts will actually sell the children's information when they graduate because at that point they're considered a legal adult. That's why when you get your college acceptance, the same time you get your first credit card application.
Boy, I tell you, getting them in debt young.
My first card was American Express, the American Excess. I tell you, I maxed out that card in less than a day. I kept buying stuff, and then like, oh, your card got declined. I go, what does that mean?
Oh wow. Okay, so $100,000 in debt. Okay. Yep.
And so I did what any reasonable 20-something girl would do who didn't know what to do. I just stopped opening my mail for 3 months. I took my mail out of the mailbox, put it into a copier paper box with a lid on it. By the second month, I had to shake the box to get the lid on it. By the third month, the mail was over the top, over a copier paper box.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, mounded. And I just put the lid on top of the mound. I didn't know what to do. Like, what do you do? Like, I'm $106,000 in credit card. Let's say $107,000 in credit card debt. I'm working 84 hours a week, 7 days a week. Can't get a second job. Can't make more money.
Yeah.
What do you do? Like, there's nothing you can do. Because that's what I thought. Do? Well, I waited till they turned off my water and my electric in one night.
Okay.
It was a Monday night. I went home at 11, woke up like around 4-ish. I had no alarm clock, no lights, had one flush.
One flush.
One flush, which means I couldn't even wash my hands.
God damn.
And I'll tell you honestly, St. James, the first time I actually My first real lesson of money was that morning in the dark, because I wasn't angry, I wasn't upset, I was relieved. And that's when I realized that waiting for the hit financially is so much worse than getting it.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that.
Yeah, totally. So because in the dark, I was like, okay, now I got to deal with this.
Yeah.
And so I did. I really failed forward. I can't even tell you all the crap I did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But 7 years later, I paid everything off. I was 100% debt free in 7 years.
So it can be done.
It can be. Oh, yeah, absolutely can be done. And a lot faster and with a lot less headache and humiliation than what I went through. And that's part of why I do what I do, because I think every person deserves to have dignity and self-respect.
Sure.
And when you're in debt and you're over your eyeballs financially, and there's two things going on there. For myself, I'll speak this. At one point, I didn't want anyone to know I was ignorant, and I was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other part is I just didn't know what to do. So those two things are like constantly battling. And so now that's part of what I do and why I do. I mean, really just in 2008, I found out about, how money works, rule of 72, debt stacking. And I was just like, oh, where were you when, right? Why did I know this when I was like in my 20s?
Ain't that now? That is the best statement ever. Why didn't we know how money works in our 20s? Because boy, I tell you what, that would have saved me a lot of heartache.
I think it would save a lot of people heartache, because here's what we're taught. We're taught how to earn money.
Yep.
And we're taught how to spend money.
Yep.
And people, well, I have this app, and I can't say the names, I think, but just these different apps. And I'm like, well, those are great for accounting, but they don't tell you how to, so if you have, this is your incoming and this is your outgoing,
mm-hmm.
those apps do not help you match these. They just tell you exactly how much you're off.
Yep.
And that's why you need something like a financial coach, just like you need a life coach, just like you need a health coach. Because if you don't have a coach who's been there, done it themselves, and now we're going to walk. But I don't want a personal trainer who's been fit and beautiful their whole life.
Their whole damn, you ain't lying. Give me somebody who's been fat and lost some weight.
Trainer that was 250 pounds, size 26 pants, and now it's thumping body and super healthy and can laugh about it. You know what I'm saying?
And I tell people the same way. Don't be getting a life coach that ain't had no life, that hadn't did shit, because I mean they can't get anywhere. I mean, they can't really help. They haven't had the experience. What do they know? I agree. Okay, so let me ask this. What do women need to know about finances?
Wealth is a women's issue.
Okay.
It's your personal responsibility to make sure you're wealthy, because no one else is going to be there for you. We earn less money than men. We take more time off for birth and taking care of parents and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And we live longer than men.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think in your head, if you have some kind of belief or programming that I will be taken care of, you're wrong. Okay. It is your personal responsibility to be wealthy. And it doesn't require a lot. You don't need a degree. I stink at math. But you just need to know what to do. It's like, I don't understand electricity, but I know how to work with it. I know how to turn it on, turn light on, plug it in, plug it out, and don't put my finger in the socket. It's the same thing.
Say it louder for the folks in the back.
It's true. It's true.
So what would you say the number one reason is women aren't wealthy?
Ignorance.
Okay.
Ultimately ignorance. But ignorance about what? That, I think, is the key. Because I can tell someone how to invest, and that's easy. Mm-hmm. Give me 25 minutes and you're done. Sure. I can show you how to get out of debt. That's even faster. I can show you how to make a rock solid financial house plan, so that when things like, I don't know, a global pandemic happens, your husband leaves you, kid has a health crisis, whatever's going to come your way, your house will still stand financially. I can create all of that for you. But I really think, St. James, just doing this for so long, it's your mental wiring. It's what you're thinking about.
Okay. Because we don't think about that.
We don't. In part because we don't want to, because we don't know it. And we don't want to tell people we're ignorant. We don't want to tell people that I was illiterate. And I think most people are just financially illiterate. Doesn't mean you're stupid. Doesn't mean you can't learn. It's just you were never taught.
Absolutely.
And so if you've never been taught, how are you supposed to know? So the first thing I think women need to do is grant themselves forgiveness.
Come on now. Yep.
and then be willing to seek out the help. And then once you do that, you're like, well, where do I seek help? Good question. That's from someone you can trust who's been in the trenches and have gone out. I've gotten out of the trenches. One of the first things I ask is, if you have someone who's going to coach you financially, ask them about their financial position. How much debt do they have?
Yeah, absolutely. I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Like how much do you have invested? Because if I've already told you my story, I was completely broken. If someone like me who's hyper, doesn't have a high school diploma, I'm a really good person, I'm a hard worker, but that is not things that create your wealth.
Sure.
But I can still learn these things and master these things, then that's huge. But someone like that. Okay. And another thing is never take advice from someone who's more broke than you.
Ooh, you ain't lying about that.
And I'll be honest with you, sometimes that's your family.
Yeah, those Uncle Willies, Uncle Ray Rays, Uncle Charles always got some advice about money.
Oh, yeah. Like,
they ain't got none. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what are the top 3 things a woman can do this month to better their finances?
Decide that you're going to get out of debt.
Ooh, that's good.
I'm not saying manage your debt. I'm saying get rid of it.
But and have make the decision.
Make the decision to do that.
Okay.
Also, make sure that you take control of your finances.
Okay.
Every woman has someone who controls their purse strings. If it's not you, then you need to take control of that.
Okay.
If you're married, I respect marriage. I respect that. But still, as a woman, you need to have your own money and you need to be responsible for it, and you know what's going on in your household.
Okay. Very good.
The third thing is learn how to invest your money. Learn how money can make money.
That's good.
Legally.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
Hey, I used to live in Hawaii. You know what I'm saying?
Put the part on there. I know that's right. Okay, I have another question, and then we're gonna just so you ladies know. I know you have questions. We're gonna get to your questions soon as I finish asking mine. Let me just say that. Let me get mine out the way. Okay, so how important is it, and why must women get out of debt and become financially independent and properly protected?
Because if you don't, what options do you have? Think about, I want you to take yourself now and put yourself when you're 85 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have enough money. You still have debt. And you're still living. You can't work anymore. What options do you have?
Social Security.
Social Security. First off, I won't be around. Secondly, who do you know is living on the lam? Like, woo, we have everything we need because of Social Security. No. Again, Daddy ain't going to come save you. Yep. Big Papa, Uncle Sam ain't going to come save you. No one's going to come save you. The only person who can save you is you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Your husband will die before you.
9 times out of 10, you ain't lying, because we live younger. We live longer.
You know why? Because we nag them to death is what I'm going to tell you. But anyway.
However we can get them gone.
But that's a whole nother lesson. But that's the
right. That's another class.
Right. That's why women need to do. This is why I think wealth is a women's issue. 100% a women's issue. It is nothing about. And here's some beliefs and some stories that people have in their head. Well, if I make more money than my husband, he'll leave me. If I make more money, then no man's going to want me because I've emasculated them. I'm more male than they are, which is bullshit.
Absolutely.
Can I curse?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh.
What I want to make sure I figured, what the fuck
is
so that's just bullshit. That is 100% bullshit.
There you go.
And as women, we can create life and we can create wealth.
Come on now.
That's why men hate us.
Some of them, yeah. So what do you mean by properly protected?
All right, so proper protection is that basically, we have two phases in life, right? When we're young, it's, we don't have a lot of money, but we have a lot of responsibilities. So there's a space between these two lines financially. Sure. Let me say some responsibilities. Kids, debt, mortgage, life, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's between these two lines. So you have a lot of responsibilities and not a lot of money.
Okay.
If something happens, this is why we work. This is why we earn income, so we can fill the space between these two lines.
Mm-hmm.
And so when something happens, like say, for instance, I die, I don't have a mortgage, but if I had a mortgage would still have to be paid, right? Kids still need to be fed. So kids, things like this happen. So you have to make sure that your income is insured. that your income will come in no matter what. And the worst thing that could happen is that you can no longer earn income because you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's protection.
Okay.
It's being properly. And there's another thing about being properly protected. If you don't have a will, ladies, and your husband or your significant other does not have a will, get a will. Like, get a will.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're like, oh no, we don't own anything. If you owe things, you need a will.
Absolutely.
If you have children, you absolutely need a will, because if you don't have a will, then your state will call probate, will make a will for you, and they'll take your kids wherever they want to, wherever the state deems correctly for them to go.
Absolutely. Correctly. Absolutely.
And so this is a kind of like the proper protection that you need in order to make sure that your life is okay.
Absolutely. I get that.
Right?
Yep.
So that's what I mean by property protection. What's the use of creating assets and creating wealth if you're going to lose it in probate?
Absolutely. Okay, I have another one. How is it for women that their net worth is connected to their self-worth?
If I have a low self-worth, there's no way I can ever connect money. Ooh. I could be a CEO of the bestest company in the world, making $500 billion a year. But if I have a low self-worth, I will never keep it.
Because it will continue just to go out the door. You'll just lose it.
Because our self-worth is like a thermostat financially.
Because you don't think you're worthy.
Right. And if you don't think you're worthy, without you even realizing it, you'll never get wealthy. You'll never increase your net worth, ever. Yep. It's just like if you don't feel that you're worthy, you'll never really lose weight.
And this is the part. I tell women this. I say, it starts in the mind. I don't care what it is that you're trying to do. It starts in the mind. Same thing. You need to be worthy. You need to believe that you're worthy of the wealth. It starts here before you start trying to create the wealth. Everything starts in the mind.
The crazy thing, St. James, and this is where I think you're phenomenal, and I'm not trying to buff you up, but this is truth, is that most of the stuff that's between these two parts of our body right here was given to us before we were even conscious.
Yep. Absolutely.
Like, my parents used to fight about money. I grew up thinking budget was a 4-letter word.
Ooh, come on now.
True story. So I think now, I actually did the work because someone asked me, and I actually had to go back and think about it. When I was 7 years old, we were at a Christmas Eve service in church. It's the only time my dad would ever go to church. And he asked her something, and my mom said that, because it's not in the budget. And I'm like, Mom, don't use that word in church. True story. Because they just, why? It was about, budget. Most people think budget's about control. It's about, I know, and lack and all of that. And it's not. But it's just no. But yeah, it's those things, like when I was $107,000 in credit card debt. Why? Because I'm not going to have a budget. I'm not going to have that kind of curse in my life. I don't need the budget. I'm a woman of my own means. I'm making good money. Sure. Yeah, I was spending, and that was self-worth. That was a belief system of self-worth that was put in my head a long time ago.
Okay, so while we're talking about self-worth, tell me about the book that you were talking about earlier.
The book. Okay, so the book is called Worthy by Nancy Levin. And let's see if I can get that right. And it is an incredible book. This is actually, I started reading this because of St. James and, Bad Girl Coaching 24/7. Okay. I knew I had to read a book. And I read a book every month, at least. Actually, I read a book now every week.
Yeah, and so we started 52 books, 52 weeks. Woo, woo.
Exactly. And so I was like, I can listen. I can listen while I'm doing. I'm in COVID world. I'm stuck in my house. I can do this, right? So I did, and it talks about. So it talks about the whole idea that your self-worth is connected to your net worth. But what I really love about it is that she helps you figure out what are those shadow beliefs, those beliefs that were placed in our heads when we were young, before we were conscious enough to say, no, I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that as a woman, I can't make more than a man. I don't want to believe that if I become financially independent, it means I'll always be alone. Mm-hmm. But those things
people are evil.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to be one of those people. I remember being as a child saying, well, we're poor, but I'm not like them. And so in some level as a child, and I carried this on as an adult, my piety became my poverty. Like, because I was so poor, I was proud of that, because I'm like, well, because I'm poor, I'm not as bad as those people. And the truth is that, no.
Yeah.
I'm no better or worse. I just can't help out. All I can give you is prayer and not a check when something happens.
Come on now. Okay. My last question, well, for this particular part, can women who are not wealthy invest?
Absolutely.
Okay.
In fact, I will tell you, you'll never get wealthy until you start to invest. Until you start to grab what's something called compounding interest. If you allow your money to make, here's the key. Here's a key. Listen up, ladies. If you let money sit and earn interest, money makes babies without us.
Come on now.
And it doesn't call for disability.
Say it again, louder for the people in the back. Come on.
If you keep money in an account that makes interest and real interest, I'm not talking these certificates of depression. I mean deposits where they're giving you like 1%. I'm talking if you truly invest your money, if you put your money wherever all the great people and the wealthy people and the big companies are investing in, you put your money in that. And we're not talking, scams. We're not talking quick, get rich quick. I'm telling you, slow, steady wins the race.
Absolutely.
If you put money and you let it sit with itself, it will make babies.
But they don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to invest.
You can start at $25 a month.
Stop it now. Stop it, girl.
Serious.
Stop.
No, I'm
girl,
serious. No, I'm serious. $6.25 a week. You tell me there's nothing in your life that you pay $6.25. That's like $1 a day.
That's not even. That's not even.
You can't find $1 a day.
That ain't even a mocha chocolate thing over at that high price little coffee place that I won't mention no names. Come on now.
You know what? I call it $6.
That tall vintage.
Yeah, I call it $6. You can't walk out of that coffee place without spending at least $6 with tip and tax. You know what? It's a true story. Most people go to that place or someplace like that, whether it's the chips, it's the Diet Coke, whatever it is. We go at least 2 times a day.
Yep.
So go once, invest the rest, and you watch your wealth move. You watch yourself slowly grow in net worth. And here's the cool thing: you don't need to know what to do about it.
Okay, so here's the thing: we have questions.
Okay.
And so let me get to questions first. One of the ladies not here because shout out to her. She's working tonight. She didn't get off the level, but she told me to make sure I ask the question. So I want to make sure I get that first. So I remember.
Okay.
He wants to know, she's 50, no money saved. How does she start retiring and not be frustrated or be like, it's not going to happen for me? I don't want to eat cat food when I retire, but she's 50. What does she do to start at 50 for retirement? Is it too late?
It's not too late.
Okay.
It's never too late unless you're 75 to 80. No offense to ladies who are 75, you're still working, whoop, whoop, but you're not going to be working for much longer. But she needs to start now. Number one, you got to you have to figure out your amount. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. St. James, we both have guns, right?
You better believe we do, girl.
Yeah. And if I did this, I would never hit
the target.
And so you got to know first your target, and you got to learn what to do. And here's the truth of this. And this is where I feel like where I was, is because I didn't know what to do, I was afraid to find out.
Okay.
Here's one thing I will tell you. If you ever have a really good financial coach like myself, I will never give you a pretty lie.
That's good.
And I'll never tell you, congratulations, you're broke. Good luck.
There you go.
So you need to have someone in your life who can give you good solutions, actual solutions, give you the truth, whether it's ugly or pretty. But you know what? We are all women who have an incredible amount of strength. So we can handle the truth. It's the lies that get too big for us.
Absolutely. Okay.
That's what becomes fearful. So I hope did I answer that question correctly for you?
Yep. So it's not too late. She needs to start now. She needs to know what her target is because you can't hit the goal if you don't know what you're aiming at.
Exactly.
Perfect. Okay. So Julie has a couple of questions. Hey, Julie. Julie wants to know tips on setting a budget, saving and sticking to it. And then her other question she wanted to know, what are these accounts called that you're talking about, the $25 a month? And then are these accounts with interest?
Very good. So I'm going to go.
Julie, damn, Julie, that's like 4 questions.
And I'm too ADD, so I'm going to go backwards on those questions.
That's
So I'm
fine.
just
That's
good.
good.
All right. So
Okay.
yes, interest earned is the compounding interest, which makes that's the babies that money makes. So yes,
Okay.
our interest needs to be earned or and significant interest. Where are those accounts called? You know, it's not so much what the accounts are called; it's what's in those accounts. And so
Okay.
I'll give you a very simple example.
Julie, don't be sorry. I'm just giving you a hard damn time.
Oh, you're good. No worries. No, you're good. I love your questions. I asked you guys for good questions. Those are perfect questions. So
There
let's
you go.
just say that this is your money.
Julie, that's your money. She's
So this
talking to
could
you, Julie.
be, it's good whiskey too. So this could be a house. This could be cash. This could be a bank account. It could be an investment account. It could be anything. And so
Mm-hmm.
when people say, what kind of account? Then normally they're thinking like, is this a 401k? Is this an IRA? Is this SEP? Simple. There's a lot of different, but really what that is if I was to take this piece of paper and put it around this bottle like a coat or a dress. See, what happens is the account's the same, but the title of what we call it, is it 401k, is it traditional IRA or Roth, SEP, all different types of names. That's the IRS code that we wrap around this account. So the IRS goes, oh, this is how I'm going to tax that money.
Oh.
So things like a Roth IRA, people don't realize, again, this is the code, but a Roth IRA allows you to retire without paying taxes on any of the money in here, including interest.
Okay.
So Julie, to answer your question, what I'm saying is that we need the actual count, the actual money, what's it invested in? It needs to be invested. And it depends on your interest, time, and comfort.
Sure.
I'll never say that there's a blanket. Everyone must invest in this. That's
Mm-hmm. So investing is not one size fit all, is what you're saying.
absolutely not. And it doesn't have to be successful. Because someone says, well, what if I'm very conservative? Well, yes, you still will make money. Yes, you still can retire, but you just got to know what you're doing. And so, Julie, so the accounts with interest, yes, accounts with interest. What kind of accounts? It could be anything. But if you're looking for retirement, you should take advantage of these tax codes. You should take advantage of these tax codes that we have for IRS. We don't have to pay taxes on it.
Mm-hmm.
Budget. How do we save? How do we do budget? I think
Sure.
budget, it's, number one cause of divorce is finances.
Mm-hmm. Money.
And number one cause of divorce for finances is not because they're evil people, not because one's stingy or one's a spender, one's a saver. It's because we don't have an ability to talk about money.
Sure.
Because remember, when you married them because you loved them.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't change. I know, but things change. But without communication, so what a budget really is two things. First off, it's a communication tool between two couples, right? But really what it is this. So St. James, we've been to Lake Texoma. It's a freaking big lake.
Mm-hmm.
And so if St. James is on the other side of the lake, I can't even see her. I kind of know where she is, but if I go on a rowboat and I'm going to row to her and I am 5 degrees off and never correct, I will never see her.
Sure.
But if she has like a point, like a pole, or if I have like a coordination, and every once I look up, I go, oh, I got to recalibrate. Oh, I got to recalibrate. I will eventually get to. Now, it might take me a little bit longer, but I will get to you, St. James.
Gotcha.
That calibration point, that navigational point is called a budget.
Ah, very good analogy. I like that.
And a budget is not about squeezing all the fun out of your life so you can eat when you're 74. Blah.
Well, Julie's single, so she wants to set a budget just for herself. So
Perfect.
She didn't have to worry about that old husband part thing. She just has to figure out. Do you have budget worksheets or anything of that nature that you can provide women that want that type of structure?
Not only do I have the worksheet, I also have the coaching.
Ooh, hey, now go ahead. That's what we're talking about.
I was going to say that anyone who is on this call, if you call me on the numbers below and you say, hey, I saw you in St. James's 24/7 back row coaching, I'll be like, cool. But honestly, Julie, I get it. You're not married. So here's a couple of things you need, Julie. You need to have a budget. You need to know how to do a budget, which I can help you with. But here's another thing. You need an accountability partner. Ladies, we all need an accountability partner.
Talk about that all the time. I do. Okay. So let me say this, and then I'm going to get to Rocky's question.
Yes.
Do you charge them for them to call and talk to you?
Not if they call me because of this phone call, not because of this conference.
Okay.
This is like my ministry. I think women, I think you can tell I'm very passionate about what I do because I came from such a horrific story. I actually grew up thinking, I believe this, if I can help one other woman not go through what I went through, then I've done my duty and my purpose in life. I'm blessed.
Absolutely.
I've helped 1,200 people.
That is a lovely thing. Okay, so Rocky said she thoughts on debt consolidation programs for high interest credit card debt.
You know, every person's different. It depends because honestly, for most debt consolidation, it's like getting into debt to get out of debt.
Okay.
And so one of the things I would tell you, Rocky, is first off, that might work for you, but numbers don't lie. Allow me to sit down with you and actually do a consultation for you and look at it. Again, I'm not going to charge you for it. There's no fees or anything like that. I don't do debt consolidation loans. So it's not like I have a hidden agenda here, but
Sure.
just numbers don't lie. Your 2 + 2 is my 2 + 2. Even if we have some kind of language barrier, it's always 2 + 2 equals
Okay.
4. So that's what I would tell you, Rocky, is if you can sit down with me, we can talk about it. And then that would be, and honestly, just take advantage of it because really, this is what I love.
So if they tell you when they call either Dr. St. James or Bad Girl 24/7, or I saw you on Whiskey, Women, and Wisdom,
Yes,
then there's no charge
correct.
for a consultation.
Exactly. And not just
Perfect.
one consultation, but for the coaching.
Okay, perfect. Ladies, if there are any other questions, pop it on here. And yes, Julie, that is her phone number, which is the 469-260-3934. So
Exactly.
feel free to call and set up an appointment with her, because here's the thing. We're in a new year, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we all need finances to be better. We don't want all of our eggs in one basket. We need to be to a point where we can manage our own money and be wealthy. I truly believe that every person on this call has the ability to be wealthy. We just got to do it. We have to believe that first before we can do anything else. It says, Tony, I will be in contact to get help. I've had a hard time. She's in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's had a hard time finding different accounts in order to invest in that doesn't require a good amount of money. But you said at least $25 a month minimum.
Correct.
Okay, well, look there. You got $25, baby. We can do that.
Yeah, just give me a call. And then would you recommend to pay off debt first, then invest, or invest while you pay off debt?
You can see the questions too. Then why the hell am I reading the questions if you
Because
can
you're
see
doing
them
such a good
too?
job. Didn't you do such a good job, ladies? Didn't you do such a good job? I didn't want to do it. You're doing such a good job. You're in sync.
Fuck that shit. I thought if you can read the question.
So to answer your
I put
question,
my glasses on for no reason. I could have kept them off and they could have saw my new
because
lashes I got.
beautiful lashes.
Okay,
She looks
great.
beautiful, but you look so knowledgeable with the glasses. So Facebook users, I don't know your name, but just to let you know, so to pay off your debt, invest, really, both.
Go.
Because when you look at compounding, it's about time and interest, but the important thing is the time.
Mm-hmm.
You wait 6 years. And so, but here's the cool thing. That's why you want to sit down and talk with someone like a financial coach, because we can sit down and say, hey, here's a strategy. Do this and do that. If I could show you how to get out of debt for less money and less time, and also be able to have a savings plan for retirement and have a budget and make sure that you have fully protection so that whatever we build together, you don't lose because
Absolutely.
of stupid lack of paper, aka will,
Come on.
then this is the stuff that we do. So that's just why I love what I do. So just give me a call and again reference this this program, and I'll be happy to do that for you.
Absolutely. So here's the thing. We are Whiskey, Women, and Wisdom.
Woohoo!
I definitely know that wisdom was put on here today. Oh, Jody has a question. You read it because you can see the screen.
Mom would be so proud. How do you know who to trust with your money, Jody? That's a really good question. There's a couple of ways you can do that. If you're going to invest, I would do FINRA broker check. If you want, I have there's sites that you can kind of look at to see how people are. But really, it's kind of like finding a good therapist. At some level, it's about strategy and about personality and compatibility.
Sure.
Like, for instance, when this whole thing happened, like we've had phenomenal growth investment-wise since 2009 to 2019. It was 10 years of consecutive growth. Never happened in the history of our market. When we had a little bumps in the road in March and April, what I call bumps.
Mm-hmm.
I had 6 calls on a Saturday afternoon. 5 of them were like, can I invest more money?
Oh.
Because everything's tumultuous. You talk to me about this. Can I put
Yeah.
some money in? I
Yeah.
can do a garage sale. Will that work? But the two others were, what have I done?
Mhm.
So on a Saturday afternoon, I answered texts and called them and said, "Hey, let's talk." Remember? And I go through the program. But so. How do you trust people with your money? First off, find someone that you like and you can get along with. They're accessible and they have, like, if you're me and you had to sit across a huge desk and I can only talk to you from 9 to 5 when I'm working, that won't work for me.
Gotcha. So you have flexible hours,
Yep. And then you need to find someone who can work within the hours that you can be.
and then you're accessible,
Absolutely.
and you're pretty.
I'm something.
You're pretty. I'm saying so. I'm just
It runs in the family, ladies.
Come on,
Your
now. That's what I'm
sisters from
talking about.
the
Absolutely.
same mother.
There you go. And I would say you definitely, let me just put a little sprinkle on that. You want to talk to someone that is not talking over your head. Sometimes these financial coaches, they use words to make themselves feel way up here. You want someone that's talking in plain English so you know what's going on with your money and you know what your choices and options are. Not someone that is trying to make themselves look good at your expense by talking over your head. That would just be my 2 cents on that, which
I
is really
believe
important.
this. I think truth is simple.
Yep.
If you
All day
can't
long.
explain to me simply and truth, then you're not telling me the truth, or you
Mm-hmm.
don't know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
if you
agree.
have to use these long words, and I'm like, then no.
Okay.
That's a
So,
good one.
ladies, looky here. Let me tell you. Oh, Amy said hi. Amy's on. Hey, Amy.
Hey, Amy.
Yay. Okay, so ladies, look, write down her phone number. You can replay this. Do me a favor, share this content on your page. We need to empower more women on a regular basis. That's why I start this. That's why I'm doing everything I am doing on a regular myself. We have to do better. We got to put ourselves in a situation that we can change our mindset and we can become wealthy. Because a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Three generations. And we need to be in a situation in order to do that. So take down Tony's number, share this on your page, please. Tell other women about her, and we will have her on here again. In the meantime, if you have other questions when we finish, simply type them on. Tony, can they send you a friend request through Facebook?
Yes,
No.
but I'm really
Oh,
you can. I'm not saying you don't, but
oh.
understand something. If you send me something in Messenger or Facebook, part of what I do is I don't. I can
She's
get
not on
lost.
Facebook. Okay.
I can
In
get
other
lost.
words, she don't stay on Facebook. She said, "No, don't send me no message." She
You
said,
can,
"Call
but
my number. Call my damn number."
call me, text me, like seriously. I mean,
Okay.
like, and understand too. Like, I know we're in Texas, but
Yep.
my access and my network is huge.
There we go.
And,
Absolutely.
and I appreciate Chris. My sister too. She's just is like, she was my client. And another thing, Jody, is always talk. Here's what I'm going to say to this: women, we read people so well.
Yep.
And so you just need to. How do you know who to trust? Listen to what the Hawaiians would call the na'au, which is it's right between your belly button and below your center. As a woman, that's our strength. And what the Hawaiian word for na'au means is that is the wisdom of your ancestors with your purpose of the future generations.
My baby woke up. Y'all see my baby over there? Oh, going the right way. I can't tell. Sugar.
She's there.
There go Nana Sugar.
She's like, you say Hawaiian? I heard Hawaiian.
I know. All right, ladies, we're done. But feel free, leave other questions. Again, share it. And we will see you next Wednesday at 7:30. We have another guest, 7:30 Central for Whiskey, Women, and Wisdom. Right?
Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
I didn't already drink all mine. I drank all my shit up. My stuff is
gone.
gone. It's gone.
What is wrong with you? You got to
All
prepare.
right, ladies. Dr. St. James, be bad, be bold. Lady, find somebody's face to sit on. Ladies, find somebody's face to sit on because sex is really important. Oh, last question. What's your hours? Your hours are their hours.
My hours are basically just text me. If I'm asleep, I'll just text you when I wake up. Don't ever worry about my hours.
There you go. All right,
my
ladies.
insomnia is everyone else's blessing.
Hey, bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Toni, so very much.
Thank you, St. James. I love you.
I love you too. Oh,
Mama, be so proud.
I know, right? Yay.